Store-bought spreads are expensive, overly sweet, and packed with preservatives. In today's episode of my Pantry Restock, we're making 3 easy homemade spreads that are cheaper, fresher, and way more satisfying. Let's start with homemade plum jam for when you want something sweet and fruity with just 3 ingredients. This is about 1.5 kgs of fresh plums I got from the market, costing me around 150 Kenya shillings. That's already cheaper than one small jar of store-bought jam. First, lay the plums on a sheet tray and sort them out. Remove any plums with mold, deep bruises, or a fermented smell. Soft is fine, but spoiled is not. Place the good plums in a bowl and wash them. Use your hands to gently rub every plum. You want to remove the natural wax coating, dirt, and residue while not scrubbing the skin off. A colander would have worked even better to wash them in. To make sure the plums are properly clean, I'm soaking them for 10 minutes in clean cold water mixed with white vinegar to remove any pesticide residue, insects, and surface bacteria. Use a 1/4 cup of vinegar for every liter of water. Alternatively, you can use salt, 1 tablespoon per liter of water. Do not use soap or detergent and don't soak them for too long. Plums absorb water easily and will make your jam thin and watery. Drain and rinse them thoroughly. Lay the plums on a kitchen towel or paper towel and dry them as much as possible. You don't want excess water in your jam. Now cut the plums, remove the seeds, and discard any flesh that looks brown or off around the pit. There is no need to peel them. The skin adds a gorgeous color and a bit of body to the jam. This step is exhausting, but once you taste this jam, it's absolutely worth it. Toss the prepared plums into a heavy bottomed pot. Now here's something important. Plums oxidize fast once cut, and that can give your jam a dull brown color if you ignore it. I'm adding lemon zest for aroma and brightness and fresh lemon juice to slow down the oxidation without affecting the flavor. Use about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice for every kg of plums. I like my jam tangy, so I'm adding a little more. Let's head to the stove. Cook the plums over medium heat for about 10 to 15 minutes. This allows them to break down naturally and release their juices and pigments. Once softened, mash them. I started with a potato masher, but it was taking too much effort, so I switched to a hand blender. You don't want it completely smooth. Leave a few lumps so the jam has some texture. Plums are naturally high in pectin, so you don't need commercial pectin to thicken the jam. Just be patient. This looks perfect. Kenyan plums swing wildly. Some are very sweet, while others are extremely sour. To balance the flavor, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of raw honey. You can use sugar or any sweetener of your choice. Taste the jam and adjust the sweetness. If it tastes sharp but bright, you're on the right track. Remember, the reason we are making homemade jam is to control the amount of sugar and ingredients in the jam, so don't go too hard with the sweetener. After about 25 minutes, it should be perfect. The jam will thicken more as it cools, so don't overcook. With this homemade jam, you can really taste the plums, and it's not overly sweet like the store-bought ones. It's fruity with a nice tang from the lemon, and the honey just rounds everything out perfectly. Pour the jam into clean, airtight jars. Look at that beautiful deep red color. Let's see how much jam I made. This jar is 584 grams and this other one is 498 grams, giving me a total of 1 kg and 82 grams of jam from about 1.5 kilos of fresh jam. With the lemon and honey included, it costs me less than 200 shillings to make over 1 kg of homemade plum jam. Such a steal. Let the jam cool completely, seal the jars, label them, and refrigerate for up to 3 weeks. You can use it on bread, oatmeal, pancakes, yogurt, in dumpling cookies, just anywhere you want a burst of fruity sweetness. This is so good. Homemade is how you save money while enjoying fancy breakfast spreads. If you've never made nut butter at home, you're in for a treat with this creamy 2 ingredients macadamia nut butter. I started with whole macadamia nuts I got from my parents' farm and cracked them open into these beautiful white kernels. You can buy them from the market or raw unsalted macadamia nuts from the supermarket. This is about 355 grams of whole, unsalted and unroasted macadamia nuts. Add the nuts to a baking tray lined with parchment paper and spread them out into a single layer. If you want a deep, richer flavor, roast them at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes until they smell toasty and are lightly nutty. You can skip this step if you prefer a milder taste or if you want to save time. Both work. Let the nuts cool completely. Blending them while they are hot affects the texture and causes overheating. Once cooled, dump the nuts into a food processor or a high-powered blender. Start blending. This is where patience pays off. First, the nuts turn into coarse crumbs, then they clump together into a thick, heavy paste, and eventually, after about 3 minutes, they break down further and release their natural oils. At this point, add a pinch of salt and continue blending. Keep going, scraping down the sides as needed until the nut butter becomes smooth, creamy, and slightly drippy in about 6 to 8 minutes. If you like it chunky, stop blending early. If you want to customize your butter, now is the time. This is how I want mine, looking glossy and feeling luxurious. If it looks dry, it just needs more blending time. No oil or water is needed. Macadamias are naturally buttery, so it's so much richer than almond or even peanut butter. Transfer the finished nut butter into a clean jar. Let's see how much butter we got from 355 grams of nut. It's 479 grams of creamy macadamia nuts butter. Amazing. Label and store it in the pantry for up to 1 week or in the fridge for up to 2 months. Because the butter is homemade and doesn't have emulsifiers, the oil will separate over time. That's completely normal. Just stir before using it. It's perfect on toast, with fruit, oats, in smoothies, or straight from the jar, and it's a solid 10 out of 10 on this bread. Lastly, let's make a creamy cinnamon compound butter that takes any breakfast from ordinary to restaurant quality. I'm using 250 grams of softened and salted butter. Add it to a bowl. It should be soft enough to handle but not melty or greasy. Mix it around until it's slightly fluffy. You can use a whisk, spatula, or a mixer if you prefer. Add in ground cinnamon powder, as much as you want depending on how bold you want the flavor. I'm also adding a pinch of salt because my butter is unsalted. If you're using salted butter, skip the salt. Mix everything together until the cinnamon is evenly distributed and the butter looks smooth and creamy. In less than 5 minutes and using just 2 ingredients, you've got yourself a gourmet cinnamon butter that instantly elevates breakfast. Transfer the butter into an airtight jar for easy spreading. Alternatively, you can shape it into a log, roll it tightly in cling film, chill it until firm, then slice off rounds as needed. Label and store it in the fridge for up to 2 weeks or freeze it for up to 3 months. Before using it, let it sit at room temperature for 5 to 10 minutes so it's soft and spreadable. This cinnamon butter is perfect on bread, pancakes, waffles, chapatis, or anything really. If you want to use all 3 spreads together, do this. Spread the cinnamon butter on both sides of a slice of bread. Toast it lightly until golden and fragrant. Add a layer of the fresh plum jam and finish with a little macadamia nut butter. It's basically a homemade upgraded PB&J kind of toast, and it's absolutely worth trying. And just like that, you have 3 homemade spreads that will seriously upgrade your breakfast. Which one are you trying first? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.